So, hello and welcome to the ISK-Archives. Today I will show you how to make a ridiculous amount of money even as a day one alpha clone. This method works for basically any new character which has the capability to fly a few basic ships and of which the pilot understands how this method works. It's a bit complicated, so I will go through everything now. First of all, this method revolves around a site called the Stellar Observatory. These sites can be found in systems that were part of the Triglavian invasion, which was years ago. This is completely unimportant for new players. These systems exist. You can filter for them on the map like this, if I can find where the filter is. Yes. So there is two variations. As you can see, currently I'm filtering for Triglavian minor victories. There is also Edencom minor victories or Edencom fortresses. So all of these systems will have such sites. There is at most one of these sites in a system. So like in one of these systems, there is maximally one site. And if this site is run, it takes roughly 4 hours, maybe a bit more, I don't know exactly, for it to respawn. However, the respawn is triggered by downtime. So if downtime hits and you just ran the site before downtime hit, the site will be there again after downtime. Also, downtime resets these sites. So if you find a bricked site, what a bricked site is, I will go over in a little bit once we get there. Then downtime will reset those sites as well. So if you find a bricked site and you know downtime will hit in 10 minutes, then you can just sit and wait for downtime to hit and you can run the site after downtime. So in order to run these sites, there is two methods. The method I will be showing today is the method that can also be done with alpha clones. The other method, which I will probably show some other time, if there is enough demand for it, is best only run by omegas, because the other method only makes sense to really be done in Lowsec, and the only way to safely move your ship around in Lowsec is using a trick called the cloak Microwarpdrive trick, which you can't do as an alpha. So I won't be covering the other method in this video. But you will need to understand everything in this video to even consider the other method, so that's fine. So first of all, what you need is positive standings with both Triglavians and Edencom. So that's what we will go and get right now. As you can see, this character has basically never interacted with Edencom or Triglavians. This is basically a new character. The age says otherwise, but like it wasn't used for anything. It has 6.5 million skill points. It is Omega, but as far as the skills go, which will be used right now, it's, well, as you can see, basically alpha skills, maxed alpha skills. But as said, you don't need even skills that are this good, as long as you can use the ships or use whatever ship you design to run these sites or do whatever needs to be done, which we get to right now. So the best way, there is a lot of guides on this. to get positive standing with Triglavians and Edencom is to shoot some rats in Pochven, which I will do now. This is the ship I designed for that. It's just a basic Tristan, nothing special, just some extender rigs, your meta drone damage amplifiers, nanofiber internal structure to get even more speed. As you can see, we can go nearly 2.5 kilometers per second, and just shield extenders and a Microwarpdrive. You might watch me fail here, because the way I do this standing farming for Triglavians and Edencom is a bit different from the other videos, but this gets you pretty big ticks if you can make it work. Also, the ship you will be throwing into Pochven will most likely not survive the trip, so don't bring anything expensive or anything you are not willing to lose, because you will probably lose it. And even if you don't, just bringing a ship back from Pochven costs you like 10 million ISK in filament costs, because the extraction filaments are expensive. So such a cheap ship is not worth extracting. Which of the filaments you use to get into Pochven doesn't matter. It just puts you in a different place. So maybe I'll just pick this one. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that it's expensive, no one cares. So you just form a fleet with yourself. And after that, undock and go. So they also changed how Pochven filaments work, which happened a way back. Probably most of you watching this video already noticed about it, but if any new person happens to be watching, then you don't care either, because you are new. So this will be normal for you. Basically, Pochven filaments used to work like the same way how abyssal filaments worked, but now you need to anchor them. My game is busy freezing and loading, wonderful. As you can see, I have not really used this account a lot, because not even the overviews are set up. So, give me 1 second. I will want the D-scan. Yes. Now, I won't be explaining basic things like how to use D-scan. This is not a beginner's tutorial video, so that's not what this is about. So what you do is, as you can see, I have warped to some random planet in Jita, and safety is, yes, no safety. And now we get to anchor it. As you can see, it takes like 30 or 40 seconds. And it gives you a log of timer, the same timer you get if you attack another pilot. So for those who have never been to Pochven, Pochven is basically one of the most deadliest regions inside the game. Everything wants to kill you, and everyone wants to kill you. It's also one of the places where you can make ridiculous amounts of money with the right gear. Oh, perfect. Also, as you might have noticed, there is also a site here called, oh wait, it's done. this is not the site we're looking for. So, as I have said before, there is multiple ways to farm positive Triglavian and Edencom standing. One of them is by warping to these Incipient drone swarms and just killing a single NPC, then warping off. Killing multiple NPCs won't get you a higher tick, so it doesn't matter if you just kill one or kill the whole site. Also, as you can see, I'm not descaling the site or anything because I don't care if I lose this ship. Like, it doesn't matter, it's 4 million ISK. Of course, that might be a lot of money to you. But there is also fits out there for this which are like 2 million ISK. Like, you could just use tier 1 modules and then you would be down to like 2 million ISK for this ship. As you can see, there is already someone scanning just regular anomalies. Oh god, this looks awful. Yes, focus fire. Can I get it to look like... No, that's not how you do it. Yes. Good, wonderful. Now everything wants to kill me. So there is only... So the site I'm actually looking for is not here, only this drone site. This is the most basic way of... I think this one isn't the home system. Whatever. So this is one of the most basic ways, but it's also the slowest. Like the tick I will get from this, the standing stick, will be ridiculously small. So I just did it to show it to you. Also, to get a new standing stick, you will need to wait for the standing stick that I just caused right now to occur, and then you will need to do it again, but like that takes like 10 to 20 minutes. So it takes forever. If you go to another system and do it there as well, then that becomes a different tick. So you can keep switching systems and then you don't have to wait after 10 minutes each time. Well, you still have to wait after 10 minutes, but like you basically overcome it, like, how should I phrase it? You don't care about the 10-minute timer in the different system because you are in another system. So you will have multiple 10-minute timers. Also, yes, so before, so I was confused. So this is the site that we will be running. This is the goal site. As you can see, holy shit. As you can see, they exist in each Pochven system as well. However, running them in Pochven is a lot harder than anywhere else. So first learn to run them in K-Space and then you can experiment with running them in Pochven. It's the same site, but the mechanic of Pochven is that you have roaming fleets, and that makes it like 20 times harder to run, because if there is a roaming sleeper fleet anywhere nearby or inside the site or about to go inside the site and you walk to the site, you will get obliterated. So that's one of the things. Oh, perfect. Wonderful. This is the site that I want. I want to kill a sleeper. Now, you need to be very careful with these Torpid sleeper hives, because there are ships in there which can literally one-shot you. So, the safest way, as said before, is the drone sites. Just kill one NPC, warp out, wait for the tick, warp back in, or go to a different system, do it there as well, and so on. This is perfect. Oh, wow, this is perfect. So, there is normally more than one ship here, but And you are coming for me. That's even better. Okay, drones out. And I will want to burn. Oh yeah, I want to burn away. Evented Sleeper Frigate could absolutely wipe me out. Because that's just how strong Sleepers are. Sleepers are one of the strongest NPCs in this game. So be careful around them. I will just let him catch up a little bit so I can put my drones on him. So normally there is multiple enemies in a site like this. So basically what you do is you warp at 100 and hope that you don't land right in the middle here where they spawn. So because this is the normal warping point. If you warp from like 100 kilometers from that, you might land here. If that happens, your ship is gone, you will die probably, or just try to warp out, whatever. Your ship is cheap, it doesn't matter. Of course you are shooting them. So another thing is, okay, well then kill it. Fine, good. If the frigates get within like under 20 kilometers or so to you, or like 15, they will warp disrupt you and web you, so don't let that happen. Technically now I can just burn away, but I want to keep it close so I can see the HP bar or not. So when there is multiple enemies, you just burn away. The frigates are the fastest, so they will naturally come closer to you than everything else can. And just single out one frigate and kill it. Same strategy as with the drones, with the other side. Just that here everything can absolutely murder you within a few seconds or just straight up one-shot you. There are some enemies which basically don't care about range. Some of them can hit out to, I don't know, like 200 kilometers, 300 kilometers. So this operation might take you quite a while. But the standing tick you get from this is like 10 to 20 times larger than whatever you get from the other side. So it's worth it. Even if it takes 20 minutes or 30. Also, I'm not looking at D-scan because I don't really care if someone comes to gank me. As I said before, my ship is worth next to nothing. But of course the normal choice would be to constantly D-scan and be paranoid about everything and so on. But So anyways, while we wait for stuff to happen here, of course you're going to... Well, I wonder, since he is alone... Oh wow, he's absolutely one-shotting my drones. Yeah, so as you can see, he did a lot of damage. That's why we are using tier 1 drones, because they are cheap. In a cheap ship. Makes you wonder. Will he even make it back? Oh, he switched back to me. Yeah, usually I do this in an Argos, not in a Tristan, but this account can't even fly an Argos, so that won't happen. Stay far away, good. Okay, so there are some NPCs which can one-shot you, which have a so-called doomsday weapon. They usually look like pancakes, so if you see pancake ships, these can be cruisers, battleships, whatever. If you see pancake ships, there is nothing you can do, just leave the side, go to the next one. Oh, yes, you have apps. Wonderful. if you see them, just leave the site because your ship will die within seconds. If they lock you up, they will just basically one-shot you and wipe you out of existence. Alright, drones don't want to aggro. They are getting one-shot. Auto attack. Where can I set you to? Aggressive. Or is that no longer an option? I wonder. Do your job, drones, do your job. Surely there has to be somewhere where I can set them to aggressive. No, that's not it. So your sleepers don't have shields, or very rarely. The enemies which can one-shot you do have shields. That's also another way to know them, but you won't be close to them at any time that you can actually lock them usually, because you'll be far away. The rope drones hit, standings hit, or standing exchange just hit. So we can check that out. Drones keep attacking. So as you can see, it's so little. It didn't even change the number. Like 0.1. It's basically nothing. Now, let's go back to searching for where I can set them to aggressive. Okay, apparently it's not a thing anymore. Good. So don't let this happen. What's happening right now, that the frigates get very close to you and they web you and then you can't do anything. But I killed it. Everything is fine. Even though I only have a few drones left. So since that happened, let's check something out. So I will show you how one of these sites look and hope that it isn't camped by a sleeper patrol, because if it is, then I will die right now. As you can see, once you kill a wave, another wave warps in. That was the site where we just came from. And having a site like that where there is just one frigate is pretty rare, so that was very lucky of me. That's wonderful. So because we got that standing stick, even that very small one, the rope drone one, as you can see, all of the Triglavian ships here, these are Triglavians, are white. That means they are basically your friends. Or well, not exactly friends, but they won't kill you either. So you can exploit this fact. So when you're in a fleet with yourself, oh, that's wonderful. I might even know I won't get to run this site, because those are sleepers. This is the reason you don't run sites in Pochven. But since I'm already here and my only way back is death, I might as well try. So what you can do in a fleet as the fleet commander is you can tag ships like this. To do that, so the default settings for this are you hold down your 1 key and you just click on them like in the overview, and then they get this tag. You need to enable the tags, so if you right click here, then you can enable tags here. If you can't see them, they might be further behind, just drag your overview out. This is what will be used to figure out what to kill and what not to kill. So the way one does these sites is there is effectively 3 waves. So if you ignore the sleeper wave, that's just because we are in Pochven. This is why you don't do these sites in Pochven normally. Oh fuck, of course you're coming for me. So this, for example, is holy shit. As you can see, they hit out to 300 kilometers, which is wonderful. So basically, all these ships that just walked in, Artis Triglavians, that is the second wave. If they were moving instantly after they walked in, this would be a patrol, and that's a completely different thing, since we're in Pochven. But they aren't moving yet. They will soon be moving because they will eventually fight the sleepers once the sleepers stop trying to kill me and start trying to kill them, which is right now, which is wonderful. This is the second wave, basically. The first wave, so the Triglavians which were already in this site when I walked in, are basically the first wave, which doesn't matter either. So you basically mark the first and second waves, and after that what you are doing is basically waiting for the third wave. So the way you can run these sites solo is all you need to do for these sites to finish is to kill the third wave. If you can kill the third wave, the site will finish and you will get a payout. Another thing is that you can reach the maximum payout with just 1 account. So if you have 2 accounts or 2 people in here, your payout will be split. And I'm no longer sure if that's a second wave or just reinforcements. It's probably just reinforcements. Yeah. So also this, for example, this is one of the Doomsday ships. This can one-shot you if you get in the range of it. We got here that are you moving? Yes, you are. So right now I'm just letting the Triglavians fight the sleepers because I have absolutely no chance against the sleepers. Like, if I get close, I will just get absolutely obliterated. In Pochven there is also another method of making ISK, which is using exactly this. You find a site like this and you just watch them kill each other, and then you can go ahead and you can take out the loot from the wrecks, you can salvage them, and so on. Of course, there is other people doing this, and sooner or later you will have to fight or run or die, obviously. Another important thing is, as you saw, this message appeared in my local chat when I walked into this site. So if this message doesn't appear, it means that the site has been triggered before, which has caused probably all of the waves to spawn. And if all of the waves are spawned, there isn't a way to tell which is the third wave. so you can't really run the site. That's what a bricked site is. Also, you can run these sites, and I think that's the third wave. Okay, no, that's a lot of ships. There is no way that's the third wave. Okay, hold on a second. You are stationary. Yeah, I don't think this Tristan will be able to run this one because there is a lot of enemies. You are just reinforcement, you don't matter. So basically what you would have to do to finish this site is to kill these 5 ships. Another thing about these sites is that the rats, first of all, they are right now our friends, technically, or like kind of. They won't shoot us. Even if we shoot them, they will only shoot you once you kill one of them. Which basically means that you can slowly grind down their hit points and then just kill them all at once. Which would have been the strategy if we didn't literally get like 5 enemies in the last wave. This is one of the biggest third waves you can get. Except for Triglavians, because the Triglavian third wave can sometimes be like 2 stages. So sometimes you get a third wave that warps in, you kill it, and the site doesn't complete. If that happens, you need to watch very carefully what is warping in, because you need to kill whatever warps in next. If you kill whatever warps in next, even if it's multiple ships, it doesn't matter. Usually just killing one of those ships, a single one. You don't need to kill all of them. A single one. If you kill a single one of those ships which warp in after the third wave, will finish the site, if that ever happens. It isn't rare for Triglavian sites to do this, but it isn't common either. So it's like 3 out of 10 sites which do that. So another thing is, why would you do these sites? For example, these Pochven sites and also Lowsec sites, which have the same payout, will give you 75 million raw ISK straight to your wallet, and 5,000, or not 5,000, but 4,500 DDLP, something in there. The Edencom sites, the Lowsec ones, will pay you 95 million raw ISK. I will show all of these numbers once I get to run a site. Technically right now I'm waiting for the standing stick for the drifter kill, and hoping that these drifters get killed, because then I can try to run this site. I could also try to get one of these kills. So another way to farm standings in Pochven, the Edencom and Triglavian standings, is to steal kills, so to say. So as you can see, the NPCs are killing each other. So if you shoot any of the NPCs that are being killed, then when they get killed, even if you are not the one actually killing them, because like, how is a little frigate supposed to kill a battleship, you know? You will be credited with the kill, and that also leads to you basically getting the standings tick for that kill. Also, all these tags that I'm handing out right now don't mean anything. It's just basically any tags beside the important tags. Also, we might get to see the sleepers kill the stuff that I would need to kill, which is very nice. Yeah, they already killed one of the frigates. That's nice. So the sleepers are also helping us. And also, yes, it is totally possible to just sit in one of these sites in Pochven and just have the sleepers complete it for you. Or it could also be Edencom. So like all of the factions which are having a war in Pochven can do this to the site. So Triglavians own the site, and basically everyone else is at war with the Triglavians. Whether it's Edencom forces, drones, or sleepers, it doesn't matter, because all of them will be trying to kill the Triglavians. You included, because you want the set to complete. And even if you don't want the set to complete, you still want the Triglavians to die, because you want their salvage, you want their loot, you want what they have in their ships. Also, you will notice that the sites will look a bit different in K-space. So in regular space, when we go back, yeah, of course you are shooting me again. Then again, you are so far away, doesn't matter. And you aren't shooting any longer. Wonderful. Instead, they will be shooting those guys. So these cruisers, if you see one of these cruisers in the sleeper hives, these are completely fine. You can go ahead and run the site. They aren't flat, as you can see. Treat them like frigates. They are pretty quick, they do a lot of damage, don't let them get close. If you see a battleship in the site, you can still run, like you can still snipe a sleeper, but it will be a lot harder, because as you saw before, that the battleship hit me from like 250 kilometers. They have ridiculous range. Also, my work is being done for me. Look. Only 2 remaining of the A tag. And if I am lucky, oh yeah, they are killing the Drakavak. And they killed the Drakavak. Okay, this is getting very interesting now. There is more stuff warping in. Everything that warps in gets deadly 5 from now on. And so I would love to go in, but like I'm afraid I will get absolutely murdered. Actually, it doesn't matter. My ship isn't worth basically anything. Oh yeah, it's about to get killed. No, it's not. Yes. There is some Triglavian enemies which will instantly aggro you, like these ones with this name, and there is also one. So this message means that the set was completed, because the last of the enemies was killed. As you can see, I was wrong about this guy, but I didn't get a payout because I didn't contribute anything, I didn't shoot anything. See, the site is done. And now the sleepers want to kill me. And that's the home system, I think. No, it's not. Good. Also, so there is so-called home systems in Pochven without very high standings with the Triglavians, with like +7, you can't enter them. So if there is 3 gates, that means one of them is a home system. There is only 2 gates, so it doesn't matter which I take. I came from Allah, so we are going to Senda, whatever it's called. I'm actually still just waiting for the standing stick. Sadly didn't get paid because I couldn't shoot anything, because if I went in to shoot anything I would have died. I mean, we can lock on another one until they get killed. So those sleeper waves are not normal in K-Space. It's a Pochven only thing. The only thing the K-Space sites may have, this also goes for the Edencom sites, is patrols. And as you can see, there is sleepers again. If I'm lucky, I can take the gate before they absolutely murder me. Wonderful. Not wonderful, because the next one will be me. I entered war before they could target me. But the enemies out there means that they will attempt to come in. Sooner or later, so I should get off the weapon like this second. No, I want you and I want you. Yes. If you didn't know, if you press Q, you can choose where you want to go. If you press once, then you can also choose the angle of up and down. If you just double click, you will go straight in whatever direction you selected. As you can see, there is random drones, and as you can see, the big standing stick happened, and good god, is it big. So for that one frigate that I killed, this is what I get, and a lot of standing with Triglavians and Edencom. This is the way, as you can see, like 42 times as much, 56 times as much as the drone killed. So the total time for the site to spawn all the waves is 10 minutes roughly. It takes between 3 to 5 minutes to spawn each wave, and since there is 2 waves which need to be spawned, the highest wait time is 10 minutes. If you run these sites the other way, which I will show at a later date, you can run 4 of the Edencom sites in an hour, which is basically equal to 400 million ISK an hour, which is in raw ISK as well. So like ISK that you can directly spend, you don't need to sell loyalty points, you don't need to sell items or drops anything, it will go straight to your wallet. Now this site I want to complete. And there is only, oh, it's the DD one. Okay, we are not going in. Then again, the Triglavians will kill the DD one, because there is a lot of Triglavians. I want to get on this. No, I don't directly approach it. Although it has ridiculously good tracking, so I don't know if it matters even. Good at killing the other one first. So maybe I will be able to get a hit in on this one, and then I can show how basically stealing kills from the NPCs works. Also, if you want to know about the loot is terrible. Even though it's sleepers, they don't drop any blue loot in Pochven. There's nothing worthwhile. The only worthwhile loot is dropped by the Triglavians. In the form of, well, sometimes Triglavian service or just Triglavian stuff that's worth a lot of money. And of course Triglavian salvage is also worth quite a bit of money. And they are going to try to kill this thing. Let's hope I can get in on it. I kind of don't care even if I die. Target it, target it. And as you can see, it has shield. And now run away, run away, run away, run away. Yes, it just literally killed the Triglavian cruiser alone, as you can see. Basically one-shot him. Drones, do your thing. Yes! So, another thing is you don't need to actually attack it, or you don't even need to hit it. So if you have guns, you can target it, you can just shoot at it. You don't need to do any damage to it. If you have target painters, webifiers, like electronic warfare, even that counts. And then you will be able to steal the kill. So these pancake sleeper ships are basically like elite sleeper ships. So killing them gives you a massive standing stick. Like if you think this is big, then you haven't seen anything yet. And it's dead, which means that I just basically got on a elite sleeper cruiser kill. Probably. If it actually happened, we will see in 10 minutes because I will get the standing stick. So I think I will burn back into the middle now. Because they will just... those are all patterned. So these are all reinforcements. The way I know which are reinforcement and which are not is that the second wave always lands somewhere where so like the third wave always lands where the second wave lands, or very nearby. So like somewhere here. And they wouldn't be moving unless one of them is killed. So the first wave isn't moving, so it's very unlikely that the second wave has entered, because then I would have seen something here that isn't moving directly after it lands. So these are all either the first wave or reinforcements. Also, reinforcements will also come once you start killing the Triglavians or Edencom in the Edencom sites. The Edencoms also are the same, it's a different type of enemy. Also, as for damage types, shoot, thermal or explosive. That also goes for Edencom. They are also usually weakest to thermal and explosive, of course. But with Edencom it depends a bit on... I think that's the... we got here at 31, yeah, this is the third wave. So as you can see, it's just 2 ships. Because it's this little, this might mean that there... I could totally pick these up. 1 second. So, because that's the case, it's very likely that this third wave will be a double third wave. So, but I might get lucky. We don't know yet. So I want you out. Wonderful. and try to kill that thing. So be very careful when you are reducing their hit points. As you can see, nothing is attacking me yet, because you don't want to actually kill them just yet. You only want to reduce their hit points. And yes, I should be rescanning constantly, but this ship is destined to die. I don't care. It lives as long as it lives. So you slowly grind this guy down, then you switch to this guy. And as you can see, everything else is basically frozen still in time because they have no quote-unquote target, because everything is, all of their targets are dead, so they just stand there. They don't move around. If this was a patrol, they would be orbiting each other or trying to orbit you. So that's how you know it's a patrol. A patrol never stands still, they always move to some extent. And now leave one Hobgoblin over there. Of course, this will go a lot faster in like literally any other ship. This Tristan has like 80 DPS currently, maybe 90. 85. And as you can see, the targets are in direction next to each other, so using short range weapons isn't exactly a good idea either. I have tried using a like catalyst or like a thrasher and so on, but because they are far away, even if you quickly grind them down individually, you can't get to them all in time, because like what will happen once I kill one of them is they will attempt to warp out if they aren't close enough to you. Like, I don't know the exact range. I think the different enemies also have different warp out ranges. I'm not sure about that. I might be wrong. But if they warp out, then you will have to wait until they warp back in and try to kill them then. But once you kill one of them, sometimes it happens that the whole room aggroes you. And that's a lot of Triglavians. Triglavians aren't like the regular enemies you find in a hideaway anomaly or your regular belt rats. Triglavians are basically elite NPCs, or what CCP considers elite NPCs. They warp out, they use pings, they scramble you, they have electronic warfare, yes, and they hit hard. They also have a lot of hit points, as you can see, and pretty high resistances. This will take forever, won't it? Yes, it will. Now I wish I put guns on this thing. So anyways, don't try to run these sites in Pochven. As you can see, I pulled it off right now. I have thrown ships in the total value of billions into Pochven, trying to run the sites in Pochven, like effectively, not like this slow. So I know quite a lot about this, about trying to run them in Pochven. That's how I lived. Like, someone new to this strategy will probably have died to the sleepers. And you will probably die to the sleepers in the... I have forgot what it was called, but the other anomaly, where we went to snipe one of the frigates for the standings. The Torpid Sleeper Hive is, I think it's called. But yeah, since we are waiting, I can show you another fit, which is this Caracal fit. So this fit has a cloak, so you wouldn't be able to use it as an alpha clone, but like you can just take it off and put on a missile launcher and then you run out of power grid. Well, you can switch that then to a reactor control unit, and you can switch one of the tier 2 shield modules to one of the meta shield modules. It doesn't, like, nothing changes. The reason for the cloak is that with this you can pull off the Microwarpdrive cloak trick, which makes you, well, if you can pull it off successfully, constantly, then it basically makes you nearly unkillable in Lowsec gate camps. Because they won't be able to catch you, they won't be able to lock you. Of course, you are still in danger with insta-lock gate camps, even if you are like perfect, like pro, like complete pro, like a master of cloak and VD. Even then, insta-lock gate camps might get you sometimes. And I am disappointed. So it's random. I would have thought that the elite cruiser would give more of a tick, but it didn't. I have gotten ticks 4 times this large, but that was from getting a kill on one of the elite battleships. So there is ticks larger than that. I'm kind of disappointed right now. But anyways, we have quite a bit of standing right now. This doesn't look like much, but it's quite a bit in terms of running these sites. Also, you are now currently positive with Triglavians and with Edencom. This means you can move through those systems without any danger. Of course, killing these Triglavians will give me a negative standings hit. But so here comes the main strategy of this moneymaker into play. What you can do is you can run a Triglavian site, and you can run an Edencom site, and then you run another Triglavian site, and you run another Edencom site. So basically the same amount of standing you lose with Triglavians, you will gain with Edencom. You will see that in a little bit once this decides to work out. Hopefully. I want to be orbiting this one because I think this guy will die first. Who knows? So my hope currently is that this isn't a double wave, because if it is, then I am probably dead. If I am lucky and it's not a double wave, then you will see the payout. So currently this is the amount of ISK this account has, and it has some State Protectorate LP apparently. And shit, yes, this is where this gets fun. As you can see, he is aggroing me, and he does a lot of damage. And everything else is aggroing me. Oh, this is going to be fun. And they are walking right on top of me, as you can see. I might actually die here before this thing dies. Which is fucked up. Die. Yes, they scram. Yes, they have. Oh, ho, 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 I'm good. and the site is complete, and see, all of them warp out. They stop trying to kill you. I got lucky. I got very lucky. And that's enough luck for one day, I think. So I was wrong about the 75 million. It's only 71, but 5 million. So as you can see, a straight 70 million ISK payout, and as promised, roughly 4,500 DRP. Also, I'm in a zero tax corporation, so this is without taxes. If you have taxes, you will have taxes, like deducted from this, just like in regular, I think. And since we have a lot of standings now, we can run sites. Well, not a lot of standings, but like we have enough to run a few sites in regular space. Which means I don't want to do that. I want to leave this ship. And let's go back to Jita. So the actual hardest part about this moneymaker, which makes it not so crazy, I mean, it is crazy, but like, which makes it not absolutely fucking broken, is that there is only one site per system. And as I said, the respawn timer is like 4 hours. Which means that you spend a lot of time going from site to site, unless you figure out where there is a lot of sites bunched together. Okay, so it's a fortress that's far away. I'm fine with, yes, that one. So this will be a high-sec Edencom site. Do we have a... No, where is the Lowsec one? That's not it. Wasn't there a... Huh. I thought there was one. Or was it... I mean, I know the Triglavians are close to Jita. Yeah. So there is a lot of Triglavian sites close to Jita, as you can see. And like, nowhere else. Basically, all of the sites are close to Jita. The Triglavian ones. The Edencom sites are mostly in Amar, as you can see. In domain, like near domain, this is where Amar is. Do I have bookmarks here? No, that's not what I want. Yes, I do. So that's where Amar is, right there. As you can see, most of the sites are close to Amar, and all of these are also in Lowsec, basically. So first of all, let's, if it's still here, like after this video goes live and if it becomes popular, and if another YouTuber does a video on it, which they probably will, then a lot of people will be using this moneymaker, which will mean that it will be less worth it to do. Now I want you. Yes, exactly. Wonderful. Jita spam, as always. So I showed the feed previously, but I didn't go over it. That's not what I I wanted. So it's basically just rapid light missiles, shield extenders, multispectrum Microwarpdrive for the Microwarpdrive trick, and then just DPS and a power diagnostic system, because this account has skills good enough that everything fits with just a power diagnostic system, and it gives me even more shield hit points and a bit more cap. And then just defense, core defense, field extender rigs to get me even more shield hit points. Because, as you noticed, there isn't a lot of time in these sites where you actually need to tank anything, like where you have to worry about the actual damage. Because, yeah, it's just those 5 seconds, or if you're unlucky in the Triglavian sites, it might be like a minute, because you have to wait for the extra wave to warp in, and then you need to kill one of them. Then you need to tank all of the DPS while doing that, and until you have done that. Also, yes, I did not insure this ship. I don't expect to lose it. I will probably bring it straight through Tama. Oh yes, that's wonderful. Now let's hope it's not triggered. Holy Jesus, what is going on here? This is a Edencom patrol, for example, by the way. As you can see, Edencom system. In different regions of space, this will have different effects. Here we get even more shield, which is good for us, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, the enemies are already here. I don't like that. If these enemies are already here, that means someone has warped to this site already. And it seems like it has already been triggered. We will see soon enough. I don't remember if the message appears when I land or when I activate the gate. Yeah, it has been triggered. So this is how the site looks when it has been triggered. I could take a blind guess and hope that only that wave aggroes me, which is the last wave. Kerberos. Or a raven. I want to show one of the Edencom sites. Also, there is no difference between the low-sec and high-sec sites besides the payout. Is this closer? This is closer. So they are the same difficulty. If you can run them in high-sec, you can run them in low-sec. The only difficulty is potential players. Also, another important, very important fact. Only faction cruisers or below can enter these sites. So tier 1 cruisers, faction cruisers, and anything below that. So a Jita, a tier 3 destroyer would work, but not an Ishtar, for example, or a Kerberos. You couldn't enter this site in a Kerberos or a Tengu. That would not work. The gate wouldn't let you. That also goes for the Triglavian sites. Of course, as always, the best ship to run these sites in is a Gila, because the Gila is the king of PvE. And since we are in high-sec, I will travel the high-sec way, ignoring this scan, because I'm in high-sec and I'm not warded, and just chilling. So anyways, back to the topic of the LP. The DD LP is currently roughly worth around 10,000 ISK per LP. If you just go to the LP store, buy items and just sell them to the market. I won't explain to you how LP stores work. There are videos for that because it's complicated. But like, you can easily get even 20,000, 30,000 ISK per DD LP. So that basically means that So if you calculate this with 10,000 ISK per DDLP, then that 4,700 LP right there is worth 47 million ISK, which is a lot of ISK. And then if you add that to the 70 million you get from the site, that's basically 110 million for every Triglavian site you run. Also, as you could just see a second ago, I got a standing stick, which gives me negative Triglavian standings. So as you can see, I got minus 0.043 Triglavian standings. This is because I killed the Triglavians in the site, and as you can see, I got nearly the same amount as positive standings for Edencom. You do lose very little standings sometimes. This, according to certain people, this is due to a rounding error. So we don't know if it's intended by CCP or unintended, but basically you gain the same standing that you lose on the other side. So if I run an Edencom site now, I will gain Triglavian standings and lose Edencom standings, and that's how you can ping pong your standings basically around and just run the sites infinitely without having to worry about anything. Yes, you could, as you just saw, you can run the site in a Tristan. You could even run it in your beginnership. Well, probably not, because it would take forever to grind down the NPCs, but yeah. I don't know if their shield recharges is so high that you wouldn't be able to keep all of them low shields at the same time. So I don't know if you could run these sites in a Corvette. I'm not sure. But anyways, you can run them in a frigate, which is crazy enough. Please have a site. Please be untriggered. So this is kind of stupid for me because I'm close to Jita. It's no surprise that the sites here have been done, or at least someone walked into them, because there's just so many people around here. But normally, so like if you go out into a more space or wherever you find the cluster of sites you want to constantly run, then it's usually chill. Like I used to make 3 to 4 billion ISK in a day just running these sites with the other method, which I will show later. The other method is basically the same thing. You just don't care about standings and you only specialize on one of the sites. So basically you only run Edencom sites, and there is a way to run these sites even with negative standings. I will show that at a later date. You could technically also do the Triglavian sites with negative standings. I have never done them. The reason for that is that, as you saw, all of the Triglavian sites are very close to Jita. They are also in faction warfare space. A lot of gates are camped very close to the sites, to the systems where the sites are. A lot of those systems have a lot of people in them that will hunt you. Quite a few people which know about the existence of these sites and how they work. Though most of them will try to keep it a secret from you, which is why I'm making this video, because these sites are unknown to a lot of people, and basically these sites make it possible for the newest players to enjoy the game without spending, well, literally months just grinding ISK for their first Omega for whatever new ship you want to buy. With this, you can buy a Gila in 3 sites, which you can do in under an hour. Of course, if you can find a cluster where there is 3 sites close enough to each other that you don't have to travel across half of New Eden to get to your other site. This is a high-sec site, so this will pay less. The payout should be, I have no idea what it should be. I think it's like something around 60 million. is like 30% lower. So the same goes for Triglavian. So the Triglavian will be like 45 million and like 3,500 LP, like, or somewhere around there, 3,000 LP. And once you get the hang of it, like how all of this works, it's more boring than mining, because as you can see, all you do is to just walk into the site, and okay, if you're in Lowsec, you are constantly descanning if there is people in local, but besides that, you just sit here and wait for waves to spawn. You can also cloak up. Another funny thing is, if you have a cloak on, if you are on a clone, you can just walk into the site and cloak up, and like go a bit, like this is where we warp in. You can just travel a bit away from the warping point and then just cloak up. So then even if people come in, you are cloaked. Like they can try to find you. The chances of finding you are, well, depends on how far away you have gone, but like they probably won't find you. Then you can just wait for them to leave, because they will see that the site is triggered. It's unlikely for them to want to run it, unless they just want to stay there and wait for you to decloak because they know you are cloaked here. They will just leave, just go somewhere else. Then you can just wait until they leave and run the site. So another thing that can happen is when a patrol warps in, this is just a second wave right now, but I showed you previously when we were in the other ISK system, Norvokaiken, or however it's called. Yeah, Norvokaiken, whatever. On the gate, all those Edencom ships, that's an Edencom patrol. They can warp into this site as well, just like the sleepers warped in Pochven. They won't aggro you, unless you have negative standings, of course, or unless you are already fighting them. They will sit around for 10 to 15 minutes and then they will just leave. One thing they do is they are computers, so they can see you even if you are cloaked, and they will try to orbit you and they will decloak you. So if you are in Lowsec, you are kind of fucked if you are planning on sitting there cloaked, because they will decloak you. What you can do is you can keep warping out of the site, warping back in 3 minutes later to see if a wave has warped in, and then warping out again, warping back in, and playing the game with them. As said before, the patrol will usually warp out after 10 to 15 minutes. So if it's already there when you land in the site, which sometimes happens, it can happen that the patrol spawns in the site, or they just warp in as you warp in, then it's very likely that they will be gone by the time the last wave spawns. So I'm not sure if they can spawn inside the site. I have seen them warp in at the same time as I warped in. I don't know if that means that they spawned right there. Anyways, if they are already there, the patrol is already in the site when you warp in, then that means that that they will probably warp out shortly after or around the same time as the last wave, the wave that you care about, warps in. So other than that, as you can see, it's the same thing as the Triglavian Site. The enemies just stand still. Also, I know it's here. These gun stars, there is usually more than one. Probably someone probably killed one of them or multiple of them. You can kill them and they take multiple downtimes to respawn. But these gun stars do a lot of damage. The issue with running these sites without positive standings is that these gun stars will shoot you. They will also shoot you the drones. They will shoot everything. And they do a lot of damage, like a lot of damage, especially the high sec ones. The high sec ones do even more than the low sec ones. Like, it's stupid. The high sec ones do like if I were to take a hit in this ship with my multi-spectrum room on, even with these resistances, the hit would be like 1,000 hit points, and they hit you every 2 to 3 seconds. It's a lot of damage. There is usually 2 gun stars in low sec. In high sec it's sometimes 3. But yeah. And here is the last wave. 2 cruisers. Please be close. How much range do you have? Absolutely nothing. Oh, that's wonderful. That's just wonderful. Okay. I want to start shooting you. As you can see, the Kaldari, they are not weak to thermal, but they are kind of weak to explosive or electromagnetic. Since I usually run in Amar, I have thermal damage fits because the Amar ones are weakest to thermal damage, and the Triglavians are weakest to explosive and thermal. So yeah, it's gonna take a while, but it will be fine. If I was an Agila, especially on one of my actually usable accounts, so to say, it's not that this account isn't usable, but like 6 million skill points isn't a lot. So if I was on one of my main characters, where I have a lot more skill points, and I would be sitting in Agila, where I have 800 DPS, these 2 ships would disappear from existence within like 20 seconds. I hate rapid light missile reloads. I hate it. Of course, all of the fits that I have showed until now, they will be included in the description, and these aren't optimal fits either. So these fits are by no way the best fits. It's just fits that work for me, fits that I use sometimes. It's just personal preference, really. The truly optimized fit is the one that I run a lot, or used to run a lot, which is the Gila for running the Edencom sites with negative standings. When I show that one, I will explain that one, but it's the same principle, just it needs a lot more buffer, because you will have the gun stars shooting at you constantly in a Gila. So if you are running with negative standings. But that's not the case right now. Also, the DDLP can be exchanged for a certain implant set, which is called the Mimesis implant set. It's a implant set which increases the DPS output of Triglavian weapons. The funny part about that is that CCP announced that they will be bringing in Triglavian Marauders, which has spiked the prices of certain items, and yeah, those implants as well. I need to be careful how many missiles I shoot at this thing. I don't want to accidentally kill it. Have you ever had to worry about accidentally killing an NPC? This site is, as you can see, we are at 13 minutes right now, taking roughly around 15 minutes in this Caracal. In a Gila, you would have been done in 10 minutes because these two NPCs would have like literally melted in 10 seconds. So yeah, Gila is the way to go. Rapid light missiles or terrible weapons. Fun fact. Oh yeah, fun fact. On my main account, the Argos has the same amount of DPS that I'm getting with this Caracal here. It's just tier 2 drone skills and using tier 2 drones with tier 2 drone damage amplifiers. It's just that big of a difference. That's also why this fit is tier 2 and not tier 1. Now, please die, all of you. Good. It's enough missiles for you. And a few missiles for you. Of course, you're one of the ECM ones. But you should die before one of them hits, unless you get lucky. Also, another fun fact, you can kill this fortification orca as well, if you want to. It drops like 30 million worth of loot, but the issue with the loot is it takes a lot of cargo space, like 503, and that's why killing it is kind of a waste, because you don't have that cargo. Like, it would take up the whole cargo of this ship. Now let's go to another site. Is there a Lowsec site? You are not attacking me, right? No, good. Is there a Lowsec site somewhere close to here? No, those are far away. That's 11 jumps, that's 12 jumps. Oh, Old Man Star. We are going to get game camped. Yeah, I mean, why not? Time to show off the Microwarpdrive cloak trick. And if I fail, I have it on video. So as for the payout, as you can see, 66 million ISK. You can believe me that the Lowsec site give 95 million ISK. The Edencom ones. You already saw how high the Lowsec Triglavian sites pay. So even if I die, you know how much the Lowsec Edencom pays, which is 95 million. And I'm not wrong about that because I have run thousands of those sites. Instead of... Yes, I want the shorter route. Oh yes. Absolutely, let's go through Tama. Also, most of the skill points on this character are for industry, production, and quite some skill points in research as well. Of course, this minus skill points isn't a lot, but like that's where most of the skill points are. That's why I said it has basically alpha combat skills, because that's what it has. So one can totally do this as a day one alpha clone with 1 million free skill points. You can just skill into, well, not even a Caracal, because as you can see its DPS is pretty low. And it's not like you need that much tank. You just want a weapon system that can hit small targets, which is the reason for rapid light missiles, which is why I don't have heavy missiles, for example, or heavy assault missiles, because those wouldn't be able to hit the frigates. And especially when it comes to Triglavians, frigates are a pain to hit, because once you actually engage in combat, like once they actually attack you, and even before that, but like once they actually attack you, they will orbit you with a Microwarpdrive on, while they have a signature radius of basically nothing. So heavy missiles will do like the absolute minimum amount of damage to them. And let's go to Tama. Let's see if we get gate camp today. There is the brick site. One could remember this and come back after downtime, but as you can see, downtime was not so long ago. Why are there patrols everywhere? What's going on in this system? Oh yeah. So the way the cloak trick works is you start aligning. I fucked it up. So, but I'm lucky because yeah, I messed it up. So the way it works, I got lucky because none of them were actually sitting on the gate. So the way it works, you press your Microwarpdrive, and like basically a second later you instantly cloak. So what this does is get your speed up and increase your maximum speed, which is then reduced by the cloaking, but the Microwarpdrive keeps it high. And while you are cloaked, they can't target you, they can't hurt you. Right? So the people sitting on the gate can't do anything while you are cloaked, but you also can't warp while you are cloaked. So the way you get around that is once you see that the Microwarpdrive is about to end its cycle, you decloak and then you spam the warp or jump icon on the next gate or wherever you want to warp. Of course, one can also do all of this with hotkeys. You will want to use hotkeys for your shift slots, definitely, but you can do the spamming with your mouse. You can also use a hotkey for that. As you can see, the default is D, or at least for me, which is the default because I didn't change this. We might run into a Triglavian system here, because also the Triglavian systems are around here. So let's try this again. So you press align, and so this is the way you do it, but I was a bit slow at that time. I was a bit slow that time and it wasn't perfect, but as you can see, I basically instantly warped. So there's another thing. If you fit a Microwarpdrive to a ship, you can make it warp instantly after the Microwarpdrive finishes its cycle. So if you have a battleship which has a warp time of 13 seconds and the Microwarpdrive has a cycle time of 10 seconds, that means that you can warp your battleship in 10 seconds if you use the Microwarpdrive. Oh yeah, right. But I will show it now. So see, it's going up very slowly. But once the Microwarpdrive finishes, bam, instantly done. Of course, this isn't, like, you can't show this very well on a cruiser because cruisers warp. Well, they don't exactly warp quickly, but it's not like they are slow either. So cruisers are middle ground basically. That's also why the Cloak Microwarpdrive trick works pretty decently with them, because with battleships, the initial boost from the Microwarpdrive wouldn't be enough to instantly warp if you put on the cloak, because the cloak would, reduce your maximum speed. And it's nearly instant. But these, like, it's only 1 or 2 seconds. So if it's not a insta-log gate camp, then the campers won't be able to catch you. And as you can see, the standing stick has come. As you can see, the Edencom don't lose as much standing, so sometimes you have to run more Edencom sites. And here is the standings gain of the Triglavians. As you can see, it's once again like a 0.001 difference. And now Old Man Star. There is no one on the gate, so I just warp. My capacitor is not enjoying this either. And there is once again a carrier. Interesting. I should probably switch the overview back to distance. Oh, they are running though. Oh, good lord. They are running grab beacons in Lowsec. Infection warfare. What the fuck? Ah yes, insurgency. Okay, I don't care about those. Now those rats will try to kill me, if I remember correctly, so we do this. Yes, perfect. So if you let the cloak loose a little bit sooner, you will be able to re-accelerate again, and then you can warp this quickly. And now I just need to hope that the site in this system is still here and it's not camped to absolute oblivion. And that we won't be constantly interrupted by people trying to kill me. Oh, 3 people. Okay, that's acceptable. But there is a site. And there is no enemy besides the regular rats, which I don't care about. Good. Now, since we are in Lowsec, I should actually care about descanning. But at this point, I'm so used to Lowsec, I it's scary how safe I feel in Lowsec. It's because I know where people usually try to catch me. Especially because once I entered this site, as you can see, the NPCs are warping in after I landed. So this is how you know that the site has definitely been untouched until now. So much so that no one has even warped to the site until me. And as you can see, the message is there, which means that everything is in order. Which means I can just do that. Wonderful. And then I can just cloak up. And now I won't appear on this scan. I will just be sitting here even if someone comes into the site and won't be able to do anything about me. I can just chill here, basically. So the issue of the Caracal as a ship that runs these sites is that, as you could see, it has very low DPS, but the range is acceptable. The issue with running other weapon systems, like for example autocannons, is that yes, you would get 300-400 DPS easily on a cruiser, however you would not get the range. Like your range would be like 10 kilometers of range where you can actually apply your high DPS with your close range ammo decently. And then if you load barrage, so long range ammo, you have enough range, but then you are basically back to 200 DPS, which is nothing. That's why the Gila is the best ship for this. I have tried running in a, in a Stratios, because you can fit a covered ops cloak on it, which eliminates the need for the Microwarpdrive trick, because you can just cloak instantly and you can warp while cloaked, which is wonderful. But the issue with the Stratios is that you can fit enough buffer tank on it, even shield tank. Yes, shield Stratios, I know, but it works. The issue is that the drones are so slow. The Stratios uses heavy drones. Drones are so slow and so chunky, and they have such bad tracking that they often struggle to hit the cruisers which are standing still. So basically you are forced to use light drones or medium drones to hit stuff, which lowers your DPS by quite a bit. And even if you fit turrets on it, then you once again have the whole range problem. If you load range ammo, which you kind of need to, then you have once again low DPS. And if you have high DPS, then you have like zero range. However, the Stratios is a pretty decent ship for running like this, because you still get a lot more DPS than you get in a Caracal, at least if it's fit decently. However, on the other side, so the thing I actually tried doing with the Stratios is running with negative standings, which absolutely did not work out because the turrets, the Edencom gunstars, just ended up sniping my drones because they are so slow and easy to hit. That just doesn't work unless you are ready to lose 10 drones in each site and you are fine with taking 20 minutes in a site and having to warp in and out 10 times because, well, yeah, you won't have enough buffer to sit 10 minutes in a site with those guns start shooting you. As you can see, I'm descaling because I'm cloaked, I don't care. So if anyone were to enter this site right now, they would think it's already triggered because it already is triggered. They wouldn't know that I'm still sitting here waiting for the third wave. So they would just warp in and then probably warp out. And then I will get to finish the site. This cloaking is also what you do when you are negative running these sites, which I don't recommend you do in a Caracal because you don't have the DPS or the ridiculously high tank, which you would need to run it with this little DPS. You just cloak up, and if you cloak up before anything targets you, then the turrets, when you are cloaked, nothing will be able to target you, they won't be able to shoot you. So you just stay cloaked, basically, in your Gila, until the third wave pops in. Then you decloak, you wait until the turrets aggro you, so they don't shoot your drones, and you just let all of hell loose on whatever the third wave is. The Gila has so much tank, if you fit it correctly, that you can also ignore all the grinding part, like where you grind the enemies down so that you can finish them all at once. The Gila has so much tank and so much DPS that you can just steamroll the whole third wave, basically. You just don't care. So the Gila is the best ship for this. And you will be able to afford Gilas easily with this strategy, as you can see. Hundreds of millions of ISK at your fingertips. It's far better than Lowsec exploration, or all the stuff they recommend for new bros. Plus you also get to learn a bit about standings, and how Triglavians and advanced NPCs work. Warp in quicker, please. I want to go to sleep. So yeah, another thing is, as I said, it's boring. It's boring once. Also, what do the... So the best to shoot against these guys is either thermal or explosive. Interesting. So as I said, it's boring as hell after you figured it out, and after you truly know it, because you just sit here and wait for the third wave. So what I was doing when I ran in a Gila, I would you were far away. I would just have Netflix or YouTube running in the background, and I would just switch tabs, because as you can see, I'm completely safe. I'm in Lowsec, but I'm basically completely safe. Nothing can touch me. The only way something could touch me is if I got decloaked by one of the warping in waves. But if you want to avoid it at all cost, then you can just, once you land, burn away this direction. So here is the structure. Just burn away this direction, because these waves always land in this area. Wonderful local spike. I don't want to decloak right now. The third wave is here, yes. So that's it. 2 frigates. Oh, and the battleship. Of course, there is a battleship. So wait, what are all of those about? I have no idea. Which wave do you guys belong to? There is no way that wave is that big. So you get more test too. Holy Jesus. That's one big fleet. Actually, I don't think they will care about a... Yeah, they are already leaving. So, I definitely want to shoot you. You know what? Since I messed up the tagging, I will just clear the battleship and then see what aggroes me. And if I don't have enough buffer tank, I will just die. Which is, I mean, funny in its own place. I need to keep track on that stabber. I don't want him ruining my day. So in theory, it's either those two or these three that I need to kill. I'm not sure yet which. He is coming to try and hunt me, isn't he? Oh yeah, he is. He is absolutely trying to hunt me. I'm here to make money, not... Absolutely. That will absolutely convince them. I can just cloak up and make him think I walked away. I'm a little anyways. That's underfoot. Yeah, he left. Lock. God damn it. Lock already. Oh? Oh? Still not? So... I hope it's not these three. But it probably is. Maybe it's all five. Okay. As you can see, I think I will start just burning away that way. Of course I'm left. That's just reinforcements, they don't matter. Shoot that thing, shoot that thing. And as you can see, my buffer tank is perfectly enough for this. This isn't the first time this has happened, where I tagged something wrong, or forgot to tag something. So, yeah. It happens. It happens when you're busy half falling asleep. I hate rapid light missile reload times. Just more stuff warping in, yes. Wonderful. Now that thing just needs to die and then we will be fine. So as you can see, you can basically bait the third wave if you don't know which the third wave is exactly. By killing one of the ships in the third wave, you will in exchange have to tank the third wave. This won't work if there's a patrol on grid, because as you know, if there's a patrol on grid and you kill something, everything will attack you. Or the patrol will at least, and there is the 95 million payout. While I'm here, cooking? Yeah, let's go there. Let's go shoot some Triglavians in K-Space, because why not? Just to show it off, that the payout is the same in K-Space as in Pochven, because it is the same and the sites are a lot easier, as you will see soon. And maybe when hopefully I get a, one would normally not be hoping for this, but hopefully I get a double third wave so I can show how that works. I don't usually run Triglavian sites, as I have said before. There was a time where I ran a lot of them. And wonderful. So he isn't exactly camping the gate, but you can't say he isn't camping it either. He's like 400 kilometers off the gate. And also again, normally you don't hope for a gate cam, but I kind of hope for one so I can show that the Microwarpdrive trick actually works. Please tell me there's a tango on this gate. Oh yes, there is. And he took it. Oh yes. What do you think with the tango will be on the other side, waiting for me? Now, if I play this right, there is the tango. Oh, he just walked away. That's not very tango-like. And I'm out of cap. Of course I'm out of cap. So, back to our earnings, 95 million flat, as you can see. This is just me buying the 2 ships. And that's just me doing what this character is for. Wait, I want my distance-based thing back. Seriously, what in the actual... Carmel, what are you doing? Oh wait. Snuffed. Catalyst Navy. It's just a random faction warfare player. Will a tier 3 cruiser declock on me? No. Wonderful. So another fun thing in Lowsec is sometimes tier 3 cruisers like to just camp a gate, but like you can't see them, they are cloaked. They just decloak when you decloak. If that makes sense. They can basically nearly instantly lock you, or like they don't have the cloak locking cooldown, or not as big as you do. Just like 1 or 2 seconds. So they can pretty quickly lock you up and shoot you. So that's why if you see anything on the gate or near the gate, just cloak Microwarpdrive in Lowsec. It's not hard to do. It's easy. It's cheap. After you buy the modules, it's free. And yeah, it's effective. Also, as you can tell, I am quite experienced at this. I'm a pretty experienced player, even if I don't look like it. But I don't want to end up like a certain EVE Online YouTuber who makes new grow videos and then a billion new grows are complaining that they are dying with the fits that he uses. So if you are completely new to the game and you want to use this strategy, you will probably lose a few ships to all kinds of stupid mistakes. Maybe you will fail the Microwarpdrive trick. Maybe you will get caught in the side because the Triglavians, they do stop you from warping. Not all of them, but like there is some ships that can stop you from warping. There is some warp disruptor ships. And so on. And this set is untouched. That's wonderful. This is actually a surprise. Like, when I ran these sites, which was quite a long time ago, like probably a year at least, like 2 minutes after downtime, all of the sites were done, all bricked, especially the Triglavian ones close to Jita. So see, you can just burn onto the other side, because actually I don't want to burn there, I want to burn there, because this is where the enemies will be warping in. This place is safe. Well, from the warping, from the non-patrol ones, because the patrol ones have laser eyes and they can see you. Super nice. And now I just float here, and then I just sit here. I should tag all of you. Done. Also, killing the Triglavian transport ship doesn't really get you anything of value, so like, don't even bother. There is, I mean, you can try, just out of curiosity, but like, there is nothing in there that's really interesting, or like, that would make it really worth killing. Also, killing the transport ships, the Edencom one or the Triglavian one, will give you a extra standing stick. So it will be considered a different kind of standing stick, so it stacks with the other negative tick you get when you finish the site. So it will basically give you two standing ticks. So it's like if you ran the site 2 times. You only did it once, but you killed the transport ship. And as you can see, the ping-ponging continues. Edencom lost a bit of standing. The Triglavians gained a bit of standings once again. No, it's actually point on right now. See, 22 and 22. That's nice. So as you can see, it's probably a rounding error, because it's not always the case that there's a bit of difference. Also, yes, this ship costs 50 million ISK and 40. But you make that back in one site. Or, well, technically, if it's an Edencom site, you make the ship back 2 times in one site. Which is kind of broken. So you make your ship back in, what, 7 minutes? That's crazy. And I mean, even if you're running a Gila, if you manage, like if you have the capacity, if you become good enough at it that you run 4 sites an hour, or close to 4 sites an hour. Also, Gilas are cheaper now. So you pay for the Gila in like 3 sites. That's a wonderful bargain. So basically, you pay for your Gila in under an hour of doing this. And Gilas aren't cheap. I mean, they aren't expensive either, but they aren't cheap. So this enemy, I have said this when we were back in Pochven, but if I were to shoot anything right now, then this specific enemy would aggro me. There is also another one which has, which is called that Nemezic. I don't know how it's pronounced. I don't care. But those two will instantly aggro you if they see you shooting at their own. So I wouldn't have to shoot that one. I could shoot any other Triglavian and they would aggro me. They also deploy like mobile smart bombs effectively, which will damage you. And if that thing damages you, then for some reason it causes the whole room to aggro you. So you want to keep running away if you see one of these. Basically anywhere, in any wave. They however don't seem to aggro across waves. So if I shoot this second wave, they will aggro me. If I shoot these guys, they probably won't aggro me. It's not 100% true. So the Triglavian sites are a bit harder to run, as you have figured out probably by now. They also pay quite a bit more. But yeah. So what you can do is you can keep orbiting or just like running away from them. You don't even exactly need to be faster than them. You just need to be fast enough to outrun the structure they drop down so that it doesn't damage you. Like by the time it anchors and starts doing damage, you shouldn't be in its range. So like going 1.5k or whatever speed you are able to go. Yeah, 1500 if the cloak is off probably. Going that fast, you will be probably fine, even if they do technically catch up to you. Yes, they will be shooting you all the time while you are doing your job, but it's like 1 or 2 ships. You can tank it. And they also die very quickly. So once you have, so you only want to shoot them once you have shot everything else, because they have very little hit points. They are also, as you can see, called Raznaborg. The Raznaborg enemies have like a lot less hit points than any of the other types of enemies of Triglavians. So this cruiser has like 1/4 the hit points of this Vedmak, just because it's called Raznaborg Lodiva and not Liminal Lodiva. This also goes for the frigates, destroyers, everything else. I hope I'm not getting a Lowsec spawn for the third wave, because that will take forever with this low DPS. Especially if it's a named like a not a Raznaborg one. If it's a Raznaborg one, then it's fine, and it barely has hit points. And would you look at that, we have one of the fun ones. So that guy is just scanning. I don't care about him. I want to, of course I can't lock you up yet. Come on, cloak, come on, let me lock things. Very good. Now, oh, there is 2 of them. Okay, that makes things a bit easier. Well, actually it doesn't. So, oh, and I can only lock 3 targets at once. That's even better. Okay, so this will be a bit of a shit show. Enjoy it. Because, yeah. You don't get to do that. You stop shooting at that. Start shooting at that. I will cap out. Yes. So see, that one turned and everything with me. Shit. Anyways. And my drones just got obliterated. So these things are so weak. You can just do this. Oh yeah. Die. As you can see, Triglavians hurt a lot. And it's dead. 1 down, 2 to go. Please reload quicker. Oh yeah, they have reinforcements coming in. You are getting tech 2. You are warping out, yes, and then pinging back onto me. Shit, okay. That Vedmak at Rodiva. Okay, Rodiva is not so bad. I miss my drones. So as you can see, leveling Triglavian Site is usually a mess. I might even have to warp out here once. Oh yeah. That's kind of bad. I don't want to do that. Is there anything to warp out to? Hopefully no anchoring ship warps in. Because then I'm really in a bad situation. That's a harrowing, that's fine. Align to the sun, align to the sun. It's not enough missiles. Can hit this. Should have been hitting this. I don't want to warp out, because if I do warp out, then I have to worry about the fact that they will all warp out and then warp in back again and all of that. My tank is holding for now, so I will just go like this and hope that it holds long enough, that I have enough hit points. And now die, please. Die quick. Harrowing, wonderful. And now all of you warp out. Good. Okay. So, I mean, that's basically it. As you can see, the same ISK payout as in Pochven, and well, it's the same LP amount. You can do the math if you want to. So, and the base price, like, you can buy some really simple items to transport that take little space. Drugs, you can buy the agency boosters, and they are worth, like, if you buy them and then you sell them in Jita or in a place where they sell for a good price or a decent price, then you get like 10,000 ISK per LP, and just with that base amount, the Triglavian sites are suddenly worth like, well, 47 million plus 71, so nearly 120 million ISK, like more like 110 if you want to round away all the other numbers. And then if you get into the implants and other stuff, like when you have a lot of LP, then you can get 20,000, 30,000 ISK for your LP. And then the Triglavian sites are suddenly worth 150 million, 170 million ISK. Just for one site. Of course, it also assumes that you put in all the work to deal with the LP. You have to go to the LP store, you have to buy the items, you have to transport them back without getting ganked. Then you have to build them, if it's implants, for example, and then you have to sell them. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching, or yeah, listening, or whatever. Goodbye.